Hi everybody and welcome back to the Celtic Way YouTube channel. My name is Ryan McGinlay at the Ryan McGinlay on the X handle, and today you join us just about a day or so after Celtic's 5-1 victory over Slovan Bratislava on the opening day of the Champions League. A quick thank you to all of our members on the YouTube members channel. If you want to support our work just that little bit more, you can do so by joining our YouTube members channel. For just £2.99 a month, you'll receive early video access, priority comments, and exclusive members chat function. So if you want to support us just that little bit more, press that join button on your desktop and get involved and become a member and enjoy all of those exclusive benefits that you get. Today we'll be talking about Celtic's 5-1 resounding 5-1 win in the UEFA Champions League. They were up against Slovan Bratislava, the team who finished first place in the Slovakian league last season, but Celtic made light work of them. As you can just see to my right are all the key stats from the game, all the simple stats before we go into some of the more complex stuff. It was Celtic 5, Slovan Bratislava 1, goals from Liam Scales, Kyogo Furuhashi, Engels from the penalty spot, Daizen Maeda and Adam Ida. So 5 goals to talk about, all really good finishes, different goals, 5 different goals, 5 different goal scorers. So that was very good to see. As you can see there, the XG from both sides, 3.73 for Celtic to 0.42 to Slovan Bratislava. So it was very much one-way sailing for the duration of the match. Celtic just overachieving ever so slightly, scoring 5 goals when their XG and cumulative XG was 3.73. They had 16 shots with 11 of those being on target. Slovan Bratislava had 8 shots with 2 of them being on target. The possession stats were 60% to 40% in Slovan Bratislava or Celtic's favour. Pass completion was 86% next to Bratislava's 79%. 625 passes were attempted, 535 were completed at a completion rate of 86%, as I said previously. 412, 327 of those 412 were completed by Slovan Bratislava and a 79%. So they were good with their passing too, but Celtic were just that little bit better. In terms of pressures, despite having more of the ball, Celtic did manage to do more pressures in the game, which was a key part in winning the ball back. Pressure regains, there was 32 to Slovan Bratislava 17. They had 111 pressures, Celtic had 143. 29 tackles, 1 out of their 37 and 11 out of 14 for Bratislava. So plenty of tackling going on last night. 2 yellow cards to Bratislava's 3 and there was 0 red cards. So 22 men stayed on the pitch for the duration. Let's talk about some of the other key stats, such as the top 5 key passers. And it was a great night for Killer Kuhn on the right wing. I did think he had quite a quiet game, but looking back on it, he definitely was influential in all things positive. He had 4 key passes, which is the most in the team. Rio Hatate had 3. Arne Engels, who was a standout as well, had 2. Alistair Johnson also had 2. Again, a standout. And James Forrest had 1. So it was a really good night for Killer Kuhn. He made things happen on that right wing. James Forrest then came on and made things happen as well. That one key pass he had did end up turning into a goal from Adam Ida. It was a great through ball by Forrest, and Ida did the rest. Couldn't get an assist of his own. He beat his man, or beat a couple of men, got to the byline, and then crossed it back into Kyogo's path after missing a couple of really big chances in the first half. Kyogo wasn't going to miss that one about a minute or so after the restart. Looking at the top 5 shooters, as we were speaking about just a second ago, Kyogo had 4 shots at an XG of 1.54. Arne Engels had 4 and Daizen Maeda had 4 too. The rest were single shots from people such as Adam Ida and James Forrest. But Engels was one of the standouts of the day. I think his physicality, his mental strength, his physical strength, his work rate off the ball, on the ball, as well as his passing. He was a real standout for Celtic, but he wasn't the only one. You'll notice that I've said the word standout about 4 times already in this video. There was that many good players on the night for Celtic that they were well worthy of their 5-1 differential over Bratislava. Daizen Maeda was another one of those key players. His work rate off the ball, it won't be the last time we talk about that in this video, but his work rate off the ball, as well as his finishing as well for the 4th goal of the evening, was absolutely sublime, and it was a great performance for him both on and off the ball, in and out of possession. So yeah, more of that to come, hopefully, for Daizen Maeda's sake and for Celtic's sake, because if Maeda plays well, then Celtic play well too. Let's go into the passing network. And today, or last night rather, I'm recording this a day after the game. So last night, Killer Kuhn was absolutely key in on-ball value. He had the highest total. I think it was 0.51, if I remember correctly, whereas Cal McGregor, as you can see in the middle there, he had 0.26 for his game on the ball value. So Nicholas Kuhn was really, really dangerous on the ball. You can see Arne Engels, Alistair Johnson were trying to feed him at every single opportunity. There was a couple of players that were kind of left on their own, such as Kyogo, but he did have those chances and he did score in the second half. Other good performances include from Greg Taylor, guys like Greg Taylor, Liam Scales, but apart from that, there wasn't that many outstanding on-ball value contributions. But like I said, and like I say in all of these videos, that's only one metric and it doesn't tell you the whole story of how players did in that game in particular. It's just one statistic used to help people, but I would say it's 50-50 between using these statistics and then the eye test as well. And the eye test would tell you that Arne Engels was arguably the best player in the park, same for Hatate, McGregor, Johnson, etc. So that's definitely something to look out for. If you look at the formation that Celtic had, I thought it was quite interesting that StatsBomb had this as a 4-1-4-1. They usually have a 4-3-3 or on occasion 4-2-3-1, which was the formation that their opposition, Slovan Bratislava, Vladimir Weiss Sr., set up his team as. In goals, it was Kasper Schmeichel, left back Greg Taylor, right back Alistair Johnson. The two centre backs were Carter Vickers and Liam Scales, respectively. In the defensive midfield area, it was Cal McGregor. The two central midfielders that were playing a bit further forward were Arne Engels and Rio Hatate, respectively. On the left wing, it was Daizen Maeda. On the right wing was Nicholas Kuhn and Kyogo Furuhashi led the line. So there was danger all over the team, and you really did see this team really come to fruition, especially in the second half, hitting 4 goals to Slovan Bratislava's 1 in the second half after adding to that goal in the first half from Liam Scales. You look at the shot map, basically all of Celtic's chances happened within the box. They had 3 chances outside of the box, of course, but these were tame efforts, and one of them was blocked. You can just see on the left-hand side. But they were trying to make things happen in the central areas. Yes, they had a couple of chances here and there, especially from the right-hand side from Maeda, which was a really good finish by the Irish striker who broke his duck last night in the Champions League and since joining the club permanently. But a lot of their chances were happening in the middle of the 12-yard box and in the 6-yard box as well. So that was good to see. It's good that they're working it into dangerous areas and making things happen in the box. Let's go into the next slide. Let's talk about Liam Scales' goal. He was given the UEFA Man of the Match after the game last night, and probably well deserved to his defensive work as well as his attacking, which was the case as he got the opening goal in proceedings against Bratislava. He really did have an all-round performance, and he probably pipped everybody else to that Man of the Match award or that accolade, even though there was guys like Daizen Maeda, Arne Engels, as I've mentioned 3 or 4 times already. Liam Scales was arguably the standout candidate. At the bottom of the page, you can see 0.09 in the XG, which rose to 0.43 once it left the defender's head. It was right at the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper did get quite a big touch on it, but the strike was too strong. Great delivery from Engels into the box, one of those ones that was whipped into Liam Scales' vicinity, and he did the rest. It was a well taken finish by Scales, and he absolutely loved it after the goal went in the back of the net, and as did his teammates. Good to see that squad morale. Then we'll go on to the fourth goal of the evening. Now, the second goal was Kyogo Furuhashi, and it was a tap-in. That was a high XG chance, as was Arne Engels' penalty, which was 0.78. All penalties are 0.78 as they are controlled environments, and it's just you're on the penalty spot and it's you and the goalkeeper, so automatically whether you hit the target or not, it is a high XG chance. For Daizen Maeda's, 0.30 went to 0.73, which shows just how well he took it. It was a great stabbing pass by Rio Hatate into his fellow countryman's path, and he did the rest. He put it back past Dominic Takac quite easily. Even though Takac got a touch on the ball, the strike was too strong and it went past the goalkeeper, which was great for Maeda. He deserved that after his overall performance, both on the ball and off the ball. And then the final goal was from Adam Eden, probably one of the most satisfying goals of the night. He had that goal that was cruelly disallowed due to an offside in the build-up against Hearts, but he made amends for that just a couple of days later. Adam Eden was fed through the ball in a through ball scenario by James Forrest, took a touch and then put the ball past Dominic Takac in the Bratislava net. That went from 0.29 odds to 0.43, round about those figures. It was just a slight increase in post-shot XG, but It did make all the difference. Adam Maeda deserved his goal, and I think everybody was delighted seeing him get on the score sheet. If you look at just the pressures quickly, it's all happening from the left and right hand side. This is the likes of Daizen Maeda and Greg Taylor on the left hand side with their pressures. The right hand side from Nicholas Kuhn and Alistair Johnson, respectively. And you can also see in the middle of the park, that's roughly where Arne Engels was situated. He had 19 pressures in the game alongside Daizen Maeda, who had 20. So in the centre of midfield and on the right wing especially, and the left wing, of course, there was plenty of pressure going on, and it was really giving Bratislava a lot of problems, which was great to see, especially in a European spotlight when all the eyes were on Celtic and Celtic Park. Brendan Rodgers' team did come and play, and they played their own game, and it was definitely shown in their performance. Just finally, if you have a look at the race chart, it was given, due to the chances that Celtic had, they were given a 96% chance of winning the game. A draw was the next most likely scoreline or outcome, and in the away side, Slovan Bratislava were only given a 1% chance of winning the game. You could see it was pretty tight for the first 10-15 minutes. Once Liam Scales scored, then Celtic's XG went up, and it just continued to rise. 2-0, 3-0, 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, 4-1, and then 5-1. They ended up at 3.73 to Slovan Bratislava's 0.42. So Worthy winners in the end. Nobody had any complaints about the score whatsoever, and it was a great result for Celtic. 3 points on the board. They've got to make the most of these chances at home against sides like Bratislava, even against sides like Leipzig, Young Boys, and of course Young Boys, Leipzig, and Club Brugge. They've got to take these chances when they come. They'll need to be more clinical in different games, because it could have easily been 6 or 7 if not for poor finishing from the likes of Kyogo and Daizen Maeda. But they're going to have less chances in these games, so they're going to have to make it happen with less chances when they do come their way. When those chances come their way, then they've got to make it count. Thank you very much to everybody for joining me on this quick video discussing the game. If you want to look at this a wee bit more, then the link to the Stats Bomb report will be in the description. That has a little bit more detail. It's talking about more metrics, more things to do with Celtic 5, Slovan Bratislava 1. If you want to support the channel just that little bit more, you can join our YouTube members channel for just £2.99 a month. You'll receive early video access, priority comments, and exclusive members chat function. Thank you very much for joining me on today's tactical breakdown. There won't be one after Falkirk due to not having the League Cup stats to hand, but there will be one after the next game when Celtic come back, which is against St Johnstone at McDiarmid Park. Please join us for that. Please keep up to date with all of our new videos. If you want to become a member, then you know where the join button is on the desktop. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend, and have a very good evening. Cheers, guys.